Hello, everyone. This is Ray Nunez, your host on Between the Chalk Lines podcast every week. All baseball talk all the time. I know it's been a while since we've had a view like this, you and me just looking at each other on top of the computer. But if you haven't noticed, I've upgraded the camera, and now I have it sitting on top of the screen. So I could do these old style episodes on YouTube and still recording great sound with the mic here. Just wanted to get that out of the way first off and get into the news. We are, tied up. Sorry, excuse me, not tied up. We're tied up in craziness, I guess you could say that, as far as what the ALCS and NLCS looks like. They're both the same, except for the fact that the NLCS, they played one more game. The Dodgers are one win away from getting to the World Series. They have spent $1 billion on their roster, made numerous trades at the deadline, and before that, to make sure that their roster was the best roster in the National League. And it's showing, I think in prior years, the problem was the pitching. The pitching didn't come through when the offense gave them a lead, and they just choked. Kershaw choked, the bullpen choked. But now it's just a juggernaut of a team, and you can't say it's not anymore. I'm an Angels fan, so my team, we're the worst team in baseball probably, next to, besides the White Sox, who we'll keep out of this episode for the most part. Yeah, I mean, it's just insane what the Dodgers ownership was willing to do. Literally tear down their farm system to trade away pieces and get better major league players before the season even started. And then at the deadline, there are some injuries. After the deadline, there are some injuries. Made some trades. So, they got Randy Arozarena for the outfield. That was, that's probably the biggest one that sticks out to me. Teoscar Hernandez was a signing before the season even started. And the Yankees made sure that their roster was as good as it could be for the American League. They became the most winning team in the American League. Obviously, that's why they were the number one seed. Same for the Dodgers. They were the most winning team in the National League. They were the number one seed. But, if I had to put the Yankees to the Dodgers and compare the two, I would say that the Dodgers are probably the better team. Do I want them to win in the World Series if they meet? The Mets still have a chance. They're not out. They have to do a Boston and win 3 straight games to knock out the Dodgers. Same thing for Cleveland. They had a nice, comeback win in 10th inning the other day. David Fry had a home run and kept them alive 2-1 in the ALCS. They have to win, 3 more games. The Yankees have to win 2 more games. But the Dodgers, they only have to win 1 more game. And I think it's pretty much set and done as far as NLCS. Mets had a magical season. Good for them. They got to the wild card, beat the Braves, beat the Brewers, beat the Phillies, and then they walked into just a brick wall called the LA Dodgers. That's just simply how it was. They walked straight into a brick wall and got knocked on their butts. And there's no way around it. There's no other way to explain it and or put it. Yankees aren't quite that brick wall, but they're pretty strong. I hate to say it. I think it's Dodgers in 5 or 6 games in the World Series. If it's Dodgers Yankees, and I know there's a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, Major League Baseball scripted this. Major League Baseball's, rigging the World Series. They wanted a Yankees Dodgers World Series. They wanted Ohtani in the World Series. Blah blah blah." Sorry, I just think that the Dodgers spent more money than anybody else did in all of baseball, and actually the Mets have a higher payroll than the Dodgers do this year. But some of those players are on other teams, so that's not really helping them. Um, for all intents and purposes, the Dodgers are spending the most money this year as far as players go. Um, the Yankees could have spent more money. Could have is the main phrase there. And we're gonna actually move on to a little bit of off-season stuff. When we look past the ALCS, NLCS, the World Series that's coming up, the Yankees could keep Garrett Cole beyond this season. He has an opt-out after the 2024 season. He can opt out of the last 4 years of his contract. I think it was a 9-year contract that he signed. I don't have it right in front of me. I need to get it. He had a. Sorry. Yeah. 9 years, $324 million. It was the biggest contract for a starting pitcher at the time. I think it still is, actually. In 2025, which should be the upcoming season, he can opt out and would miss out on making $36 million 4 straight seasons until he turns 37, his 37 age season. He'll make, let's see, what's the math there? Just $144 million he'll be missing out on if he opts out. But, I mean, since 2020 to 2024, has they done enough to make more than 144 million in 4 years? The one thing that could keep him in New York is if the Yankees opt into a final year for 2029. So if the Yankees opt in on their side, they could void the opt out. It's really weird. I don't. They would be paying him an extra year, so instead of 4 years, it would be 5 years, and he has no way of getting out of that contract. So that's just the beginning of this weird off-season talk. Luis Arias was injured. We don't know how long. believe it was the month of September, part of it, and obviously all of October. Off season, actually postseason. His thumb was injured. He just had surgery. So if you were wondering, like I was wondering why the heck he wasn't hitting in the postseason, probably that. He probably couldn't hold his bat as well as he wanted to or could. We're looking at a National League batting champion, and he wasn't getting hits in the postseason. So he got or had actually surgery. He should be fine by the time the regular season starts in 2025. Kevin Pillar, who's actually, I'm going to step back. Arias, it's been reported and rumored that he talked to Padres brass, the front office, and asked for an extension. He really hasn't had a solid home as far as at the major league level. I think the most time he spent with the team is the Twins, which was like 2.5 years or 1.5 years with the Twins. And I think he matched that with the Marlins. And then he got traded to the Padres. Every year, each team, he's won a batting title, by the way. So, and he's been a batting champion. So, and 3 teams, 3 batting champion, titles. I think the guy deserves having a long-term contract somewhere. And if it's with Padres, even better. Going to Kevin Pillar. He said earlier in the season, 2024 season with the Angels, that he reached his 10 years of service in the majors. He got his retirement fund. It's official. It was going to be fine if you retired today. He said that this was his final season. So will we see a retirement announcement in the coming days, coming weeks, months? He's officially a free agent. December's right around the corner. The Angel will have, I believe, 5 days to work out a contract with him if he even wants to stay in Anaheim after the World Series ends. So that's in late October, beginning of November, kind of stuff that we're talking about. I want to talk about Ohtani. He was doing terrible with nobody on base for some reason. And then the other game 4, it just clicked like that. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know if someone told him something. Hey, they're pitching around you when nobody's on base. But then they decided to pitch to him with guys on base. He was hitting like over 700 or 800 with people on base and had 2 home runs, almost 10 RBIs. It was crazy. I told my brother the first game when he had that home run against the Mets, like, why would you pitch to Ohtani? You have first base open. He's almost, and it's a hot take, I know a lot of people might take offense to this, he's almost quite literally the Barry Bonds of our time right now. I almost said James Bond there. He was not James Bond. Barry Bonds of our time. Almost quite literally. If you're taking into account, MVPs, Ohtani only needs one more, I think, to tie how many Bonds had in his time with San Francisco. Yeah, I just think that it was, if the Yankees and the Dodgers end up meeting in the World Series, Yankees should not pitch to Shohei Ohtani if there's anybody on base. Even if there's a guy, even if the bases are loaded, just walk the dude. Give up the run. I don't care. Don't freaking pitch to Shohei Ohtani. It's stupid if you do. And there's guys on base. That's my opinion. my hot take. But I'm sure there's plenty of people that agree with me. Anyhow, Rice, Pilar, they had their surgeries. It's looking like Dodgers are getting to the World Series. It's looking like the Yankees might get to the World Series. As far as Vegas odds, I think Vegas has Yankees winning World Series if they make it. I I don't have those odds on me right now. Playing this again every Friday. You'll be hearing this Saturday morning. So today again Friday, and we have Dodgers just starting their game 5. So we'll see if the Dodgers are in the World Series tonight. You'll hear it on the Sunday's 60 Seconds if they make it. And then the Yankees play later this evening. So everyone have a fantastic weekend, fantastic Saturday, Sunday. And, I'll write something if the Dodgers make it tonight. It'll be up on the website this weekend, www.betweenthethalklines.com. See you there. Peace.